Hey, welcome to Communion. I'm so glad that you're meeting together with your group to celebrate communion. You know, communion is comprised of three important symbols. These are symbols that Jesus gave to his disciples in the upper room on the night prior to his crucifixion. And yet they were also symbols that were designed for his church throughout the ages to celebrate. But the very nature of a symbol is that, it's good for celebration in and of itself, but we have to look beyond the symbol to the meaning that's ascribed to it. And so in these few minutes that we'll share together, we want to take a closer look at what are these symbols and what are their meanings. And the first of those that we encounter, Jesus was in the upper room with his disciples. They were eating a meal together, but he rose from that meal and began to wash the disciples' feet. Now, foot washing in that culture was not totally foreign, and yet what Jesus did was different. After all, he did it middle of the meal rather than upon arrival. He did it as the master rather than as one who was a servant in the household. No wonder Peter's eyes began to roll and he began to question, wait a minute, what's this all about? And so he questions Jesus in John chapter 13. We read, "He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, 'Lord, are you going to wash my feet?' Jesus replied, 'You do not realize now what I'm doing, but later you will understand.' 'No,' said Peter, 'you shall never wash my feet.' Jesus answered, 'Unless I wash you, you have no part with me.' 'Then, Lord,' Simon Peter replied, 'not just my feet, but my hands and my head as well.' Jesus answered, 'Those who have had a bath need only to wash their feet. Their whole body is clean.'" You see, what Jesus made clear to Peter was that Christ's washing of daily forgiveness is essential. Even for the Peters of this life who have experienced salvation, who have experienced the whole bath, we still need to bring our sin, those times where we falter in what we think and say and do, we still need to bring that to our Savior so that we can be washed and cleansed. That's the symbol, and that's the meaning behind it. I'm sure that you'll find in this video to follow from Bruce and Christy Shemrick how their experience illustrates what we've just talked about. So enjoy this video from them.
We're the Shemricks, and we've been coming to church on and off for the last 20 plus years, but we haven't fully devoted our lives to Christ until the last couple years. We got married when we were very, very young. I was 16, found myself pregnant, and well, it started out, it wasn't a nice marriage. We fought a lot.
I grew up in a family that all we did was work. So by working 7 days a week, that's all I wanted to do was provide for my family. So all I cared about was money and material possessions, and it wasn't right.
And we didn't go to church on a regular basis. It was more like major holidays or, we just put it off, just didn't put God first.
When we started going back to church, the pastor said something about reading the Bible in a year, so I thought I would try it. And I can't read anything and retain it, not very good. But I did it anyways, and I made it through. It took me a little over a year, but I finally did it.
And I thought, well, if he's reading the Bible, why can't I read it too? I mean, I read bits and pieces throughout the years, but never started from the beginning and went the whole entire way through.
And I think that's where things started to change.
We joined a grace group after putting it off for I don't know how long. And we absolutely love our grace group, love the people in it. They are our support group. If it wasn't for them, I don't know what we would have done. I mean, God has just been amazing, the people that He has put in our lives. The only way that the changes were made is the one and only Jesus Christ. He's the only one that changed us.
It's definitely only because of the grace of God. I mean, with her praying, and did you pray for 20 years?
At least. We spend a lot more time together, more meaningful time together. It's a difference between night and day. And we want to continue to grow spiritually and stay in the Word because we put it off for so long and we just want to continue to grow. Is our marriage perfect? No, but it sure is better with Jesus in it.
Well, as you prepare to celebrate the actual foot washing together with others in your group, let me encourage you with two thoughts. First of all, keep in mind that this is a symbol that has meaning to it. The symbol is that of foot washing. The meaning is that of daily forgiveness and our need for it. And then secondly, as Bruce and Christy Shemrick's story illustrated, for all of us, there is the need for ongoing growth. God doesn't want us to stay the same. And I'm wondering, as you wash someone else's feet, would you be bold enough to just share one of those areas where God's working in you? One of those areas that maybe He's starting to cleanse and to transform in your life? I think you'll find your time richer if you do just that.